歡迎收睇傳媒對焦。踏入夏天，大家有冇去到郊野公園露營、釣魚或者係遠足呢？公園管理處對包括停車、露營許可證等有邊啲特別嘅要求呢？而一般省民對於安省嘅省立公園系統又了解幾多呢？面對疫情之後，大家對郊野公園嘅遊覽需求，公園管理處更新咗網站嘅內容。大家喺出發之前，不妨先了解一下應該點樣做先至可以配合保育嘅要求，同時保護好自己喺野外嘅安全啦。
安省擁有一個獨具特色嘅省立公園系統，從創立到而家已經有130年嘅歷史。最先係喺1893年建立嘅亞江昆省立公園，而當時嘅初衷係保護伐木者利益同埋區內幾條重要河流嘅源頭。而家亞江昆公園位列全加拿大最具吸引力嘅旅遊目的地之一。1954年，安省政府建立安省公園管理處，隸屬於安省環境保育及公園廳。呢一個里程碑式嘅決定，標誌住將自然保育列為惠及世代嘅永續目標。之後建立嘅省立公園數量迅速增加，發展到今日，全省各地已經有超過330個省級公園同保育區。而經歷3年嘅新冠疫情之後，隨住今個夏季嘅嚟到，民眾都急不及待，無需再擔憂疫情，去擁抱久違咗嘅大自然。各地嘅省立公園，特別係一啲熱門園區，更加會出現大排長龍嘅情況。
We've had some very busy seasons. We've actually gone from, in 2019, we were at about 10 million people, and now we're up to 12 million visitors a year. So people have been sort of stuck at home, but they've explored their local provincial parks, and they now have discovered us. So now in terms of educating our visitors about how to visit a provincial park and how to live lightly on the earth, I'll call it. So just restoration programs and projects.
其實安省公園管理處喺疫情期間嘅2021年就啟動咗一項試點計劃，准許省民最多提前5日網上預訂17個省立公園1日遊，目的就係防止大家到達公園時候發現冇晒名額而無法進入。目前加入呢個計劃嘅省立公園數量接近80個。疫情爆發期間嘅2021年，安省公園管理處就開始調整應對，開發線上資源，例如為咗遊客享受更好嘅戶外體驗，大幅咁更新同豐富咗網站內容。而面對疫情消退之後，大家報復性嘅遊覽需要，更加專門製作不同專題嘅視頻，透過 YouTube 頻道宣傳同指引，包括遊客點樣提前網上預訂停車、露營所需嘅許可證等等。
On our website, we no longer have the Learn to Camp program, but we do have an ambassador program. So you can, first of all, if you're planning a camping trip, there's lots of resources online through our ontarioparks.com website, and you go on to Learn to Camp, and there's all sorts of resources from packing lists to cooking recipes to what do you do on a rainy day? And then there's ambassadors that, and most staff are quite helpful to know and let you know how to have a campfire, what are some campfire safety rules, where should you put up a tent, where should you not put up a tent, and just those little tips and tricks that some of our seasoned interpreters and seasoned park rangers know about.
野外露營作為一項老少咸宜嘅活動，歷久不衰。夏季尤其是受到民眾嘅熱捧，管理處統計顯示，近年嚟營地需求有增無減，預定數量從2014年嘅430萬個升到2021年嘅660萬個，大概1/3嘅省立公園都提供露營同配套設施，包括19000多個汽車無障礙營地同8000幾個荒野營地。今年過夜營地嘅預訂喺5月12號已經開放，大部分公園5月19號之前開放營地。雖然係咁，仲係好似往年一樣出現營地供不應求嘅情況。預料今年夏天會創下歷嚟最為繁忙嘅露營季節。
You have 5 months in advance of your date of arrival. You can book in advance of that trip, and that secures your spot to know that you have a camping location. And again, it's hard sometimes on weekends to find a spot because everybody wants to get in. We've shortened the reservation or the length of stay that you're allowed to do in the peak season in July and August for some of the parks. So some of the more popular parks have reduced that window so it gives more people an opportunity to have a camping experience. So that's for camping. Then for day visitors, there's now a program called Advanced Daily Vehicle Permitting. And so you can now reserve a spot at a provincial park, whether you are a season's pass holder or annual pass holder, you still need to reserve your spot at a park. So say you're wanting to go to Sandbanks Provincial Park. It's a busy park when it's hot. It's got a lovely beach, but you want to have a reservation. So you go online, you put your permit number in there, or you buy a daily vehicle permit in advance. It's like a reservation to secure your spot.
由於安省公園管理處嘅目標使命係保持自然環境同動植物資源嘅完整性以及持續性，喺宣傳方面並未刻意着墨，所以令到好多公園同埋保育區蒙上一層神秘面紗。其實管理處下轄嘅公園佔地面積超過82000平方公里，佔咗安省陸地面積嘅8%，比斯高沙省同愛德華王子島嘅總面積仲要大，擁有得天獨厚嘅自然美景、豐富嘅野生動物資源、多變綺麗嘅地貌地形，例如有奔湧壯觀嘅瀑布、寧靜清澈嘅淡水湖泊、曲折婉轉嘅行山徑、延綿舒適嘅沙灘、珍貴歷史文化遺跡等等，都具有觀光、探險、保育嘅多種功能。管理處提醒大家，跟從公園內嘅指引，體驗唔同嘅戶外活動時候，要愛護大自然。
We are set up to preserve and conserve the natural and cultural features of Ontario. So we are not a place to forage for food. We want to preserve and maintain the biodiversity of the park and of the province in the different little caveats or like the little pieces of green space that we have. So keeping people on the trail, not picking and taking up firewood even. Like campers will often go into the bush and going, oh, it's downed wood, we can just put that on the fire. No, that now needs to regenerate into soil for the next trees and nature to grow and live. Take out what you brought in with you. Don't let your litter go around the park because that's damaging. It's ugly for us and it's damaging for the environment. So fishing, you're allowed to fish as long as you have an Ontario fishing license and stay within those seasons. So what I can fish, when and where, but you have to research that to know, okay, where am I planning to go fishing? What bait am I using? How many rods can I use? How many hooks can I use? There's all those regulations. It can be quite daunting, but reach out and there's other people that know, and you don't want to get caught taking too many fish or fishing out of season. Yeah. So even as we stand here on the nice lawn in front of the campground, we've got dandelions in front of us, and to anybody that's got a lawn, that's a weed. But to a honeybee, that is one of their first sources of nutrition and pollen source. So when you come to a provincial park, there is absolutely no harvesting and no picking of any sort, not damaging any bark, so not carving names into the bark, not picking up for firewood, not picking, and it's that just one theory of, well, it's just one, it can't hurt anything. But when we have 12 million visitors, that can make a big damage. So we don't want that. Just take pictures, stay on the trails, and enjoy.
安省公園管理處仲同合作贊助機構推出垂釣計劃，准許遊客喺超過55個公園免費借用釣魚嘅設備。而對於夏季最受歡迎之一嘅水上活動，當局表示呢個亦都係最令人擔心嘅活動之一，因為就算係夏天，湖水仲係十分冰冷，如果有人唔小心跌入水裡面，將會非常危險。根據統計數據，駕駛船隻跌落水而死亡嘅個案當中，高達80%都係同冇着上救生衣有關。另外就係酒後或者服藥之後開船帶嚟嘅危及生命嘅風險，涉及駕駛船隻有關嘅死亡事故超過40%係同酒精有關。開船泛指所有不同類型嘅船艇，包括獨木舟、小艇、帆船、機動船艇等等。根據開船安全運動嘅指引，駕駛船隻嘅人士要修讀開船嘅課程，時刻保持清醒。 船上面任何人都要着上救生衣，船艇上要配有救生設備等等。開船就算係着上救生衣，都唔應該單獨行動，確保遇到事故或者意外嘅時候，身邊有同伴嚟援救。對冰冷嘅水域要格外小心，謹慎防範跌入水裡面。有67個公園都提供免費借用嘅救生衣，確保遊客獲得安全愉快嘅體驗，更加為遊客提出應對意外、自我保護嘅建議。
So we've got a lot of people sometimes that they'll have their earbuds in and they want to, run or just be at peace with themselves. But if you have your earbuds in, you're not hearing anything else around you. You're not hearing cars, you're not hearing other animals, you're not hearing other visitors. So if, I'm not saying don't use your music or don't listen to your audiobook, but just have one ear in and one ear listening around, so then you're more aware of the surroundings. Don't ever corner an animal. Don't just give animals their space. We have coyotes, we have deer, we have dogs off leash in our leash-free areas and stuff like that. So, just, walk with a friend. Always take a buddy with you, I guess. Let people know where you're going and when you'll be back. Most people now carry their cell phones, and most of the areas have good cell coverage. Call 911. Stay where you are. Don't try and call for help and stuff like that. We do have occasional rescues that need to be taking place. But again, if you're traveling with a partner, if you have a buddy with you, hopefully that's a safety system as well. But if you have told someone where you're going and when you plan to be back and you're not back at that time, that's a safety net too, going, stick to your plan, and then they'll know that something's up and they should advise authorities. But if you have fallen and you can definitely call 911, let them know you're in whatever park you are, and they'll be found.
值得注意嘅係野外露營或者係徒步穿行需要做足準備。露營期間永遠唔好嘗試餵食動物，對大型動物要保持安全距離，營地唔好留有吸引動物嘅食物、垃圾，要準備同隨身佩戴預防動物嘅工具，仲有掌握避免動物攻擊嘅必要技巧等等。而喺行山徑或者係山林小道行走，首先要評估自己嘅體力狀況，選擇長短、坡度適合嘅路線，攜帶水同食品，有同伴結隊出發，仔細研究地圖同佩戴通訊器材。未成年人同狗唔能夠單獨行動，而且喺可控範圍進入陡峭或者係路面情況複雜嘅區域，要堅持停落嚟觀賞風景，而唔係一邊行一邊睇風景等等。俗語話走鄉不怕寒心，相信今年夏天大家都能夠透過親近享受大自然嘅饋贈，感受而且激發對生態保護同完整性嘅重視。始終呢啲都係留俾子孫後代最為寶貴而且無以代替嘅禮物，需要每個人都獻出自己嘅一分力量。
今集時間差唔多啦，如果想重溫以上嘅內容，可以去到本台網站，點擊節目重溫裡面嘅傳媒對焦就睇到啦。再會。